Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Kobella, and today I want to read the text with the title is North American Indians. Okay, let's start. North American Indians. The first people to live in North America were the American Indians or Native Americans. According to the religious and folk stories of many Indians groups, the earliest Inca stories arrived in North America from the inside of the earth. Modern scientists, however, believe that the first Native Americans came from the Asia 15,000 to 18,000 years ago across to the Bering Strait from Siberia to Alaska. They were nomads, that is, they did not live in one place, but instead we always on the move as they look for food. In other words, the first American Indians were hunters who followed the animals, their food sources during times of immigrations from place to place. Together, the nomadic people and animals slowly immigrate towards the south. These early inhabitants spread out all over the North American continent, now Canada, the United States, and Mexico. There was a great variety of language, religious belief, and customs among the many tribes or groups of Indians. By the time the first Europeans arrived, the Indians were living in several different cultures areas. The members of various tribes in each center of culture had frequent contact with one another and shared similar characteristics, but they didn't have much in common with tribes in other cultures area. For example, the Pima and Papago tribes of the southwestern desert has similar customs and habits, but their lifestyle has completely different from that of the Sikh who live on the plains, the Apaches in the southeast, and the Kwakiut and Tlikit on the northwest coast, or the Neches and Tonquas on the Gulf Coast and in Florida. The lifestyles of the people who live in each culture's area reflect the geography of that area. The inhabitants of the northwest coast, now British Columbia, Canada, live by hunting and fishing, but they didn't lead a nomadic life. They didn't need to follow animals from place to place because they could take advantage of the resources where they were living. The oceans and rivers produce salmon, halibut, and many other fish. The forests were rich in animal life. They offer deer, elk, and bear, as well as similar animals in the forest, and inhabitants could also find berries to eat and wood for boats, furniture, and houses. Geography influenced others area of life. Through hunting was a seasonal work, best in the summer. Therefore, the tribe members were very busy at certain times of year, but in other seasons, they had the opportunity to spend time in creative activities such as woodworking and art from for which the Northwest Coast Indians become well known. Unlike the inhabitants of the Northwest Coast, the Indian of the Eastern Plains had an agricultural society. They lived in farming communities and rice crops, corn, beans, squash, and tobacco. The members of these tribes live differently from others, from those in the northwest, because there were so few tribes on the flatlands. Their houses were of earth instead of wood. While the food was growing, the people stayed in their communities. Yet after the harvest, when they had work in the crops, the Indians rode west on horses they had gotten from Spanish farmers to hunt buffalo. During the months when they were looking for buffalo, the lifestyles of the hunter was similar to that of the nomadic tribes on the western plains. To these plains Indians, both eastern and western, the buffalo was very important to provide many necessities, meat, skin, for tips, house that people could carry, clothing and materials for spoon, bags, and beds. The buffalo hunt was also central to many artists, social, and religious activities. When Europeans arrived on the North American continent several hundred years ago, the Native Americans' old way of life began to change. The difference between Europeans and Indians' pollution led to different difficulties as the white moved west. They took over more and more of the land for themselves. Native Americans lost not only their land but also their lives to widespread wars and to sickness that were not existed in North America before the Europeans came. But they had lost something even more important, the sense of identity. When the plains Indians, for instance, lost their hunting grounds, and when the buffalo became almost extinct, the most important characteristic of their society, the buffalo hunt, was gone. Today, also, some Native Americans live in urban areas. Many live on reservations, land that the government set aside for them. Some tribes have held on to the language and ancient custom of their ancestors, while others in general have forgotten the old ways. Although some groups are relatively wealthy, most are very poor and have had to receive help from the government. In recent years, many tribes have begun to regain their sense of identity and their cultural heritage. They are having wars once again, this time in Okur, where they have succeeded in several legal battles. They are fighting to win back their land and their fishing and hunting rights, the, the basis of their ancestors' way of life. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.